New tonight, authorities in South Carolina say they'll release preliminary autopsy results for Faye Swetlick on Tuesday. The girl's body was found on Thursday after she went missing on Monday. Today, Swetlick's body got a police escort after the autopsy in Charleston. She had been playing outside her home when she went missing. More than 250 officers and investigators searched for her throughout the week. Happening now, a manhunt is underway outside Washington, D.C. Investigators say a 17-year-old boy shot and killed his mother and 6-year-old brother and is now on the run. This happened in the community of Midland, Virginia. NBC's Chris Pallone has the story.
After responding, Levi, 17-year-old male, possible shooter, the 7-year-old male.
In Virginia tonight, a manhunt for 17-year-old Levi Norwood. Investigators say Norwood's father, Joshua, came home Friday night and found the unthinkable. His wife, Jen, and 6-year-old son, Wyatt, shot dead, and Levi armed with a gun.
Possibly the mother and the son are deceased. The other one is in the house. The one who did the shooting, and then the caller is a father. He has an eye injury, we believe, and then also his hand.
It happened in Fauquier County, Virginia, about 50 miles southwest of Washington. The sheriff says Levi shot Joshua Norwood too, but the injured dad managed to escape and call for help.
And if you happen to encounter Mr. Norwood, again, he's considered armed and dangerous. Do not approach him. Call 911.
Levi Norwood is 5'9", 125 pounds. His hair is dyed purple. Deputies believe he stole a red 2007 Toyota Camry about 5 miles from his home, and they now think he had plans to leave the state, which has broadened the scope of the manhunt.
So it's an ongoing investigation, but there's no a degree of certainty that he is in fact alone. I can't say that, but that's why we're intent on public and checking people, checking security cameras, things like this, because this could help shed more light on the investigation.
Across the community, weekend activities, including church services, have been canceled. Neighbors are being told to be vigilant. Investigators say it's not clear what spurred the shooting spree, and they can't guarantee the violence is over. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Now for the latest on the coronavirus outbreak, the U.S. is preparing to evacuate Americans from a cruise ship in Japan. A Winston-Salem woman is among those under quarantine on that ship. The ship has been docked in Yokohama since February 4th. The embassy wrote that people who choose to return on the charter aircraft will still have to undergo 14 days of quarantine in the U.S. Anyone who has tested positive for coronavirus or is showing symptoms cannot leave and will have to continue receiving treatment in Japan. The family of Candace Culclaser, an entertainer on that ship from Winston-Salem, told us Candace is perfectly healthy and is in good spirits. Meanwhile, a man vacationing in Hawaii developed cold-like symptoms and then was diagnosed with coronavirus when he returned home to Japan. State health officials say he began having symptoms while on Oahu. They say he stayed at a timeshare property in Waikiki. Health officials are advising all healthcare providers in Hawaii to be on alert for more possible cases.
As we get more information about his specific itinerary or places that he visited, then we will examine that and identify any of those workers that might have been exposed.
Our focus is who this person might have sat down with, had conversation with. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for.
Health officials say the biggest unknown is how the man caught the virus since he had not been to China. They're fake images and videos that look so real it's hard to tell the difference. In 12 investigates why the government is concerned about deep fakes. And after 9 years with the Panthers, Ron Rivera has a yard sale. The good cause the money is going toward next.
Your WXII 12 forecast is always available on the free WXII 12 app. Stay connected with meteorologist Carly Cassidy on her Facebook page.
12 investigates now. The Pentagon's secret research agency is working to tackle the challenges posed by deepfakes, digitally altered images that distort reality. And concern about these videos is growing as we head toward peak election season. Sally Kidd reports from Washington.
Concern about deepfake videos has reached the highest levels of government, from Congress.
The committee is devoting this hearing to deepfakes.
To the Pentagon. The military's top secret research division, DARPA, has tapped some of the best minds around the globe.
We have automated algorithms that can look at this image
to develop technologies that will quickly detect deeply altered images.
There's going to be a sharp sort of discontinuity in the motion between those two frames.
Deepfakes use artificial intelligence to change what you see and hear.
So this video on the left-hand side is actually driving the mouth movements of this video here in the middle to produce this one on the far right-hand side.
It looks and sounds real, but it's fake.
One of the obvious challenges is just that the state of the art in terms of manipulating images or videos continues to advance relatively rapidly.
The source code for creating fakes is now available online, though experts say creating a true deepfake isn't that easy, at least not yet. You need a higher-end computer and advanced skills.
Big concern and the big push would be to have an automated detection, something that could be deployed on a social media platform or on a website.
But researchers are in a race against the pace of technology. The better the manipulators get, the better the detection tools need to be.
Long-term, our reliance on just sort of instantly trusting images and videos is going to need to change, and it'll take us as a society a while to adapt to that.
That was Sally Kidd reporting. Some signs that the video you're watching could be a deep fake: flashing around the face, duplication of eyebrows, or inconsistencies around the edge of the face. Also, pay attention to irregularities in details like mismatched earrings or eyeglasses. A little girl loses an irreplaceable toy on a flight. How the airline sprung into action to find the girl's daddy doll.
It's a beautiful Saturday. You can see all the high clouds really working their way over Ennis. Not a bad sunset, but we'll talk about the more cloud cover for tomorrow after the break.
Ahead Forest, police say a woman posed as a photographer of newborns and may have drugged a mother to take her infant. Plus, we'll take you to a city that made a tough decision to stop curbside recycling. Those stories and more tonight on Nightly News.
An airline comes to the rescue after a little girl loses her favorite toy on a flight. Sharon Johnson tells us why the doll was irreplaceable.
Can you wave? Can you say hi?
This is 18-month-old Kinley. She's had trouble sleeping since her beloved Daddy doll was lost on a Delta flight from Hartford, Connecticut to Atlanta. It's a doll that looks like her dad and has his voice recorded.
For her specifically, bedtime was their thing. It filled that void of not having Dad here.
It's extra special because her dad is a Marine deployed overseas. Mom Ariel Britton says Kinley takes the Daddy doll everywhere.
With communications not always being reliable, being able to hear his voice anytime is so special.
Britton posted on Facebook the same day, alerting people to the lost doll. The post garnered thousands of replies and reactions within hours, including attention from Delta.
From cleaners to flight attendants to our headquarters, people in constant contact with each other to find out where the doll was, where it was going.
Who's that?
That's me, girl.
The airline personally united Kinley with her Daddy doll today, along with cookies and other goodies. The family FaceTiming with real Dad moments after the reunion.
Can you give Daddy a kiss? Say I love you. He wasn't here for Christmas and all of these things, and so having something to represent that she knows that he's with us.
What a wonderful outcome. That was Sharon Johnson reporting. The company that makes the Daddy doll provides comfort items to families that can't be together for whatever reason. We'll take a look at this. Surfers took to the water in Portugal today to tackle some of the biggest waves in the world in spectacular fashion. Earlier this week, the world's top big wave surfers tackled the legendary waves of Nazaré in the World's Surf League's first team-oriented big wave tow-in competition in the history of the organization, which for the first time included female surfers in the event. Former Carolina Panthers head coach Ron Rivera and his family are having a yard sale before moving to Washington. After 9 years with the Panthers, Rivera has a lot of gear to unload and said he's cleaning out his closet for a good cause. The Charlotte Observer reports Rivera hosted a yard sale at the Humane Society of Charlotte to benefit the We Are Family Capital campaign. Rivera was known for wearing unique Panthers gear during his time in Carolina. Clothing and memorabilia will be for sale at the Humane Society. And it is nice out there for people to have yard sales or do whatever they want to do. I mean, it's a little cold, but still pretty nice compared to all that rain we saw.
Oh, absolutely. I say you saw the blue skies from those pictures, but people still had the hats on and some gloves, some extra layers because it was chilly. The sunshine's awfully nice, but temperatures still stayed a little bit on the cool side. Not too bad, and I don't think really too many complaints for how the weather was, though, for your Saturday. Hit 42 in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Danville, 46 in Burlington, and stayed to the upper 30s in Galax at 37. Temperatures have already dropped off for a good portion, even 35 now in Reedsville, 38 in Danville, Martinsville at 36, and 37 in North Wilkesboro. Temperatures continue to drop quickly for tonight. Of course, once that sun does set, lose some of that actual heating, and we will continue to really get down towards the 20s and the low 30s for a good portion. So not as cold as I woke up to this morning, but still a cold night overall. We will see a little bit more of that cloud cover increase, just like what we saw during the day today. It was those high clouds really streaming overhead. That's what you can see here on our satellite and radar. No activity once again, and that also stays in place for tomorrow as we go into your Sunday. But overnight tonight into your Sunday morning, you can see more of those clouds really passing on by and also increasing. Temperatures for tomorrow morning, maybe headed out to church, to breakfast, any plans, mid-30s, so grab the extra layers once again. And then for the afternoon, it is a bit more mild, also more seasonable, so not nearly as cool. Back towards the low to mid-50s across the area. Still sunshine, but more clouds mixed in as we go throughout the day. Even those clouds do come back on the thicker side as we go throughout your Sunday night. You may have seen a little bit of some rain down to the south and then well off towards the north. There is a slim rain chance around us, not for us as we go throughout your Sunday. So for tomorrow, for the Triad, another great day for your weekend. Start in the morning in the 30s, 54 for the afternoon. South wind around 5 to 10. Then just add in some of those clouds. Foothills just about the same with that high temperature at 53, still staying nice and dry and nice and calm. And for the mountains, making their way back towards the upper 40s, low 50s, and then just a peak of sunshine here and there mixed in with those cloudy skies, especially into the morning hours when temperatures a little bit cooler as well. Now for your Sunday, really into your Monday, here's that rain down to the south and the east of us staying dry once again, even into your Monday. Start with some clouds and continue with that mix of sun and clouds as we get going throughout the day Monday as well. Temperatures still staying pretty mild. As we go into Tuesday, here's where we start to bring in that rain chance. Light and really not too much activity just yet for your morning, making its way here, especially down from the south off towards the west. That starts to fill in by the afternoon, into the evening, and then really into your Tuesday night. But if you notice here, that heavier activity is looking to stay down to the south and out towards the east of us for now, and really hopefully so, because we do not need any more rain. Still could use a few more days to really kind of dry things out. This continues to push on through here as we go into your Wednesday. Wednesday, we still have some activity around us, so we do keep that rain chance about 30%, and then also still have that rain chance for your Thursday. Right now though, only about 20%. With that system on your Tuesday, temperatures are pretty mild once again into your Wednesday, then a bit more chilly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Jam-packed Saturday for college hoops. We'll check in with Wake Forest as the Deacs visit Miami. Plus, the Xfinity Series kicks off. Daytona 500 action will bring you all the fun stuff coming up next.